Welcome, my future AI artists. Today we are going to talk about some pro techniques and useful resources for writing better prompts. In previous lectures, we learned how to adjust the weight of keywords. Let's quickly review the process, which is select the keyword, hold down the Control key, and use the up or down arrow keys to adjust its weight. In today's lecture, we will learn how to combine two modifiers. For example, if I want a girl's hair to be blue and pink, how do we do that? Let's see an example. Let's open the Stable Diffusion Web UI page and type in our prompt. Portrait of a beautiful woman, blue and pink hair, soft light, highly detailed, 8K. Then we'll copy and paste our negative prompt. We'll adjust the sampling steps to 30 and the height to 768. Click on Generate and wait a moment. Great, we have the result, which is a portrait of a woman with red and blue hair, but with more red than blue. If we want more blue in the hair, we can select the word blue, add square brackets to both sides of it, then add 2 colons, followed by the proportion we want it to occupy, for example 0.7 to represent 70%. Then click on Generate again. This time, the generated portrait will have more blue in the hair. Okay, if we want to make this woman look more like a robot, how can we do it? Same as before, we select Woman, add square brackets on both sides, add 2 colons after Woman, and write 0.3 inches after the colons to represent the proportion of woman we want to keep. Then we add Robot after Woman. Click Generate. We find that 0.3 inches is still too much, so we change it to 0.1 inches and try again. Now we have generated a portrait that looks like a robot, although I am not quite satisfied with this result. Let's click Generate again to see what we get. Okay, this one looks much closer to a robot. This result is what I want. If I want to add more elements to this image, I can click here to lock the current seed value, and then add a new modifier here. Let's add intricate, metal reflection, and highly detailed. Click Generate. Alright, now we have the desired result. Look at the metallic sheen, it's very great. Here let me briefly explain the role of seed. Generally speaking, for the same stable diffusion model, the images generated from the same seed usually have strong similarity, and we can basically ensure that subsequent generated images will not have too much variation. When we generate a composition that we are satisfied with, we can lock the seed and then achieve the final satisfactory result by adjusting the prompt appropriately. Great! Now let me introduce a few resources that are very useful for writing prompts. Firstly, let's open this link. You can see Stable Diffusion Prompt Builder written here. Let's see what functions it has and how to use it. First, we choose Beautiful Face. Click the drop-down arrow here. Let's see Art Medium. You can see there are many mediums, and a drawing has so many subsidiary types. You can also see pencil, ink, painting, and so on. Now let's look at camera and choose Lens and Perspective. You can find many types of lenses, such as ultra-wide angle, DOF, depth of field. There are also camera settings here. Now let's look at lighting. Wow, there are so many types of lighting. This Christmas lights looks interesting. Alright, that's about it for the introduction. So, how do we use this tool? Should we copy and paste it directly into our prompt? Of course not, as doing so would pollute our original prompt. We usually use it as a prompt reference tool. Now, let's take a look at another tool. It's similar to how many designers like to go to websites like Behance and Pinterest to find inspiration. This tool is also similar in that. You can see many AI-generated images uploaded by users. Let's scroll down to see more inspirational images. If you come across one that interests you, you can click on that image to see the prompt that generated it. For example, here you can see the artist modifiers used to create the image. It has already extracted these modifiers for you, so you can click on any of them, and it will load all the images generated using that modifier. Let's take a look. Oh, this sports car image is interesting. Let's click on it. You can see that it provides many related images. Let's take a look and see if there are any images that we particularly like. Oh, this one looks good. Let's click on it. Here we can see that it provides many different images. We can also study the prompt it used in detail. If you find something you like, you can click the like button here. Alright, that's the introduction to this tool. You can explore it on your own from here. Great job! With the solid foundation you've built in the previous lectures and the additional techniques and resources I provided, you can now consider yourself a prompt master. Okay, that's all for today's lecture. In our next lecture, we'll guide you through how to install Stable Diffusion locally. So, see you in the next lecture.